Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech. This is your weekly download on all the tech news that's actually shaping our world.
Okay, it has been a wild week in tech, but don't worry, we've got you covered. We're going to break it all down into 5 big themes. We'll talk about the AI bubble. Is it real? Then we'll look at how AI is popping up in your everyday life. We'll dig into the hidden price of all this AI. And of course, we got to talk about your next gadget. And finally, we'll wrap up with some really cool stuff from tech's expanding universe. So let's dive right in. All right, first up, the AI bubble.
This is probably the biggest question hanging over the entire industry right now. I mean, it feels like every single company on Earth is just throwing money at artificial intelligence, right? But is the hype getting way, way ahead of the reality? To really get into this, let's look at a quote from the guy at the center of it all, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. He basically says, yes, investors are overexcited. He admits that while the tech itself is real, that's the kernel of truth he talks about, the frenzy around it, it feels a lot like the dot-com bubble. And hearing that from him, that's a pretty stark warning. So what are we even talking about when we say AI bubble? Well, think of it like this. It's when investors get a major case of FOMO, fear of missing out. They start pouring cash into AI startups, and suddenly these companies are worth billions, even if they haven't made any real money or had a huge real-world impact yet. It's the classic story of hype getting way ahead of actual results.
But here's the crazy part. Even while he's warning everyone about the hype, Altman says OpenAI is planning to spend, wait for it, trillions of dollars on things like new data centers and AI chips. So that's that kernel of truth he was talking about. The long-term belief in the technology is absolutely real. And wow, the price tag is just staggering.
Okay, but here comes the reality check. So far, companies in the US have already dropped $40 billion on generative AI. And for what? So far, there's almost nothing to show for it in terms of profit. And that right there is the heart of the bubble debate. You've got trillions being planned for the future, but the billions already spent today? Yeah, they haven't really paid off yet.
Okay, so let's move on from all the bubble talk. Where is all this money actually going? Well, you're seeing it pop up right in the apps you and I use every single day. Developers are moving super fast to get these new AI features out the door. AI is really starting to become this practical, useful tool. Think about it. Grammarly isn't just a spell checker anymore. It's like a personal writing coach. And searching for stuff is getting so much more conversational. You can just ask Windows, hey, find me that file with the chicken tostada recipe, or tell Google Flights, find me a week-long trip this winter to a city with great food. It's all about making technology feel a little more, human. But maybe the biggest wow moment this week comes from Meta. They've rolled out this new AI translation for Instagram and Facebook Reels. And get this, in just a couple of clicks, a creator can translate their video, have an AI perfectly lip-sync the new audio, and then just hit publish. The best part? The platform automatically shows the video in the right language to the right user. This could literally erase language barriers for creators all over the world. It's a huge deal. Okay, all of this innovation is incredible, it's powerful, but it doesn't come for free. There's always a catch, right? So what is the hidden price we're all paying for this AI revolution? Yeah, what is the real cost here? It really forces us to ask some tough questions, Questions about our privacy, about our society, and just about the massive amount of resources needed to power this whole thing. And it turns out, people are worried. A recent Reuters/Ipsos poll showed some deep public anxiety. The number one concern? Political disruption. A whopping 77% of Americans are worried about how AI could be used to mislead voters. And right behind that are the big fears. Job loss, replacing human relationships, and even, the risk to humankind itself. Heavy stuff. And look, these fears about privacy, they are not just theoretical what-ifs. We got a really stark reminder this week of just how easily things can go wrong. And this one comes to us courtesy of Elon Musk's AI company, xAI. So how did this even happen? It was ridiculously simple. There's a share button in their chatbot Grok. When you click it, it creates a unique URL for your chat. Now, here's the crucial part. Grok never warned anyone that this link was public or that it would be indexed by search engines like Google. The result? Over 370,000 private conversations, some with really sensitive data, just out there for anyone to find. A massive, massive privacy breach, all because of one missing warning message. Unbelievable. But hey, it's not all bad news on the privacy front. There's actually a bit of a win to report. The UK government has finally backed down on its demand for Apple to create a back door into its encryption.
Privacy experts have been screaming about this, saying a backdoor for the good guys is also a backdoor for criminals and hackers. So for now, the UK has dropped it, and that's a huge win for user privacy.
All right, enough about software and policy. Let's shift gears and talk about some shiny new hardware. It is time for a rapid-fire roundup of the latest and greatest gadget news. Okay, first up, and this might be a little bit of a bummer for all you Google fans out there, some leaked benchmarks for the upcoming Pixel 10 Pro XL are not great. They suggest its new chip might still be lagging behind the competition. Seriously, if these numbers are real, the new Pixel will have a tough time keeping up with last year's Samsung, let alone what's coming next from Apple and the new Galaxies. Okay, some other quick hits on the hardware front. Apple is reportedly and finally killing off those unpopular fine-woven iPhone cases. Good riddance. Samsung is working on a cool new AI privacy screen to stop people from snooping on your phone over your shoulder. Tesla launched a new 6-seat Model Y, but only in China, and Elon says it might not ever come to the US. And what about the Steam Deck? Is it still worth it? Short answer, yes. The game library is massive, but just know that some newer competitors do pack more of a punch. And now, for our final section. We're going to zoom all the way out. It's time for something completely different. Some of the surprising, kind of weird, and totally wonderful stories from the wider world of tech and science. Okay, so get this. The James Webb Space Telescope just got mooned. And no, I'm not kidding. I mean that in the most literal, astronomical way you can possibly imagine. That's right, the planet Uranus has a new moon. For now, it has the super catchy name S2025U1, and it is tiny, only about 6 miles wide, which is probably why we've missed it all this time. This little discovery brings Uranus's total moon count up to 29, and it's just another reminder of how unbelievably powerful that Webb telescope is. And finally, let's wrap up with a classic case of, well, political irony. So on one hand, you have President Biden, who actually signed a law that could lead to a nationwide ban of TikTok over all those security concerns. But on the other hand, the official White House has now launched its very own account on, yep, you guessed it, TikTok. It's a pretty wild situation that just goes to show you how much influence the platform has, even on the people who are threatening to ban it. So that's the week in tech. I mean, from the fears about an AI bubble to these huge debates over our privacy, one thing is for sure. This technology is evolving at an absolutely breathtaking pace. And it kind of leaves us with one big final question to think about. As all this AI keeps learning more and more about us, what are we learning about ourselves? And that is all we have for this week's Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed the episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.